what's up, guys? It's David from DealMachine here, and today I'm with Brian Iregbu, who's just done a deal with DealMachine. How you doing, Brian?
Man, I'm good. What's going on, David?
I'm living the dream over here, and I can't wait to hear about your deal. I did want to mention that you guys listening may know Brian already because on Instagram, he's got quite the following as House Buying Brian. So, Brian, how long have you been using Instagram?
Instagram, probably, man, I had deleted my account and kind of went on a personal development binge. So I think I've been back on probably about 2 years. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. And then how
Started
long?
from zero again.
You started from zero, and then now you have over 20,000 followers in just 2 years?
Yeah. It's crazy.
Man, that's incredible.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell us a little bit about, you're in Texas, first of all. Which city again are you in Texas?
I'm in Beaumont, Texas, a little small kind of city, kind of close to Louisiana.
Okay. And you just did a DealMachine deal. So we wanted to dig into that in this call, actually.
Okay, sure, let's get to it.
Yeah, let's hear about it.
So the recent deal I did was it was basically a vacant house. The homeowners had moved. I think they were in Houston, and the property had been vacant for I think about 10 years.
Okay.
I reached out to her. It's funny because it was the same. I had spoke with the lady a while back, but it happened to come back around, and it was on the DealMachine app. And so it took a little while. We were able to make a agreement. Went ahead and bought it. Now we rent it out for $875, cash flowing about $420 a month. After all the expenses. So and I'm really big on the passive income from the rentals, and it was like perfect. And I really got that directly through the DealMachine app. So
that's fantastic. Okay, so that's fantastic. So you said that you had known about this for a while, and then you found it again with DealMachine.
Right. So what had happened was it's funny because I had spoke with the lady probably about a year ago,
Okay.
and I just left it off the hook. I stopped, communicating with her. I stopped reaching out to her, and I was just doing my driving for dollars around, and I put, the house in DealMachine. And it's funny because she contacted me after not being able to reach her. I don't know if it's because how the postcards are set up. They're so nice. It really gets people's attention. It's basically like I had her back on the hook,
Yeah.
So that's why I created DealMachine definitely for that deal. So.
Oh, that's great. Of course, I love hearing that, but there is something to that. The postcards actually have a picture option.
Yeah.
Are you utilizing that?
Absolutely, man. It gets people every time, I got another deal that it wasn't the most most recent deal, but it was actually around the corner from my house. This was an $8,000 deal, and she called and she said that, hey, I like how you got the picture of my house on, I really like how you do that, it looks so professional. And, that already just kind of built credibility, right there.
Yeah, a lot of times it gives the impression that you did took your time to do a lot of homework, whereas any other mail they might be receiving look more generic.
Yeah, like it was just kind of like a blast or something. Yeah, people respect that.
Absolutely. That's cool, man. So this house, it's renting for a little over 800. You're cash flowing a little over 400. What was the actual purchase price that you guys came to?
26,000.
26,000. Okay.
Yeah, we were at 30, came down to 26,000.
Okay. And then you said it's cash flowing, so a little bit less in the revenue though. So do you have a mortgage or financing on this property too?
I used cash and I cashed it out. So this one is free and clear.
Okay.
I don't do that a lot. I like to, kind of, do something creative where I don't have to pay as much cash, maybe just take over a mortgage subject to. But I went ahead and cashed this out because it was a lower price point. And I just, sometimes it feels good to not worry about, a mortgage because, vacancies are real.
Oh, yeah.
Not as much now because it's, such a demand for housing, but yeah, so no mortgage on this one, just, very low, taxes and insurance.
Yeah. So that's a great rate of return actually with those numbers.
Absolutely.
That's phenomenal.
A little more to it. The house, so it sits on a corner, right? And so what we're renting right now is $875, but it also has, so it's on the corner. So there's a house behind it that's a 1-bedroom, like efficiency apartment. Okay. They can rent for like $500 a month, but I haven't started, repairing that and getting that ready. So it's 2 separate addresses, but they were on the same, survey, same deed. So once I get that up and ready, yeah.
You're going to get even more cash flow out of the same property. That's fantastic. I love that. So when she called you, did she remember you from a year ago? She didn't remember you. Great. So who cares, right? Yeah, you can just start from zero and you did the deal that way. How many, was this the first deal that you did with DealMachine?
It's not, it's actually the third.
Oh, shoot. Okay. Yeah. Well, we'll have to dig into those other 2 a different time.
Yeah, no problem, man.
We'll love that. Love to hear that. For this one though, how many properties did you actually have in your DealMachine account?
I had about 70.
Total?
I had about 70 total. Yeah. Okay. And it's funny because I haven't been super consistent with putting new properties in there.
Okay.
But they stay in there, and it's kind of like the recurring mail. And when I get to it, I take some off when I say, oh man, we didn't hit about 6 times. Take them off the list and just I skip trace them, and now I have the phone number. So that cost per lead could go down. Because now when you got the phone number, you can call them as many times as you want, Right,
absolutely. All right. Dang, that's really good numbers though, because for us, we find it takes at least 200 properties.
Wow.
Yeah, for somebody to get a deal when you break it down like that. So
I definitely don't have 200 properties in my app right now.
Yeah, well, you're doing the repeat mail actually at least 6 times, which has got to be part of the success, right? People.
Yeah, consistency.
Do they respond to the first one or the second one or third one that you found?
So I have 88 right now.
Okay.
She responded on the third time.
Okay.
I got three. It was showing three times mailed. Yeah. So I could just imagine, when I kind of pick it up and just way more, deals inside of the app.
Absolutely. Can you talk a little bit about how you're utilizing the app? And what I mean by that is, are you just kind of using it when you have a random house that you find? Or do you specifically go out and drive, or do you hire somebody else to go out?
So both. What I do, if I'm just going about my business on a normal day and I spot something that looks like a great opportunity, and I roll my window down, put out my phone, and I'll pop it in the app, And other times when, I don't have a routine schedule, which I need to, create with my work schedule, it's back and forth. But when I set out the time to like, hey, I'm gonna go drop $1, today, and then of course I'm strictly going out there to, add properties into the app.
Okay.
So that's probably why it's only 88 in there right now, because it's really just kind of by random. It's so convenient, it's just by random inputs. Sometimes it's like, hey, let me drive a few neighborhoods and manually put some in here.
Yep. So you've got a pretty big operation. Why do you still spend time driving?
That's a great question. I really kind of like to know my area. I feel like I just kind of like to see it myself, what's going on in this area. But I plan to let members of the team, get the account login, leverage, so I can be getting more properties in there on a daily basis. So.
Absolutely. So
that was fun too, man.
Yeah. Well, when you post about it on your Instagram account, it looks fun.
Yeah, man.
You got great music playing.
Yeah, play some.
The weather's
music,
nice. You got the windows rolled down.
What's not cool about that? There's some things that, okay, if I leverage, so I think you can add both of them. I think you can leverage the team to be putting massive amount of deals in DealMachine, but there's one component that sometimes you can't get with the team as you kind of being an expert. Sometimes I could be rolling around and I can see someone in the neighborhood, you know, and physically talk to someone like, hey, do you know what's going on with this property next door? you know.
For sure.
Hey, do you know anyone on the street looking to sell a house? I'm an investor, you know. Because sometimes people see you stop at the house and, you know, neighbors are nosy. They start looking like, you know.
Right, and they might start off.
You know, they say their house has been vacant for a long time. Like, oh, really? Do you know how to get in touch with the owner? You know, so.
They'll provide you way more info than you ever wanted to know.
You never know, you know, when you're actually out in the streets, you never know what you're going to come across, you know.
That's
actually
right.
In front of people. So that's the reason, that's one of the reasons I still drive.
I love that. Well, to wrap things up for this deal specifically, you know, now that you've done it, and it's your third deal actually, which I didn't realize, what are you going to do going forward with DealMachine? It sounds like whatever you're doing, everything that you're doing is working well. You know, are you going to keep doing kind of everything you described, or anything new that you think you might do?
So definitely going to set up, you know, kind of like weekly goals in a schedule, and assign, you know, this task to, you know, other people on a team, you know, and possibly third-party people like mailmen or, you know, things, so they can be adding, you know, deals in DealMachine on a regular, because I mean, it's a numbers game. More properties we have in there, and of course, training them how to use it most effectively. I know you guys got good trainings, but that's what I plan to do moving on. But definitely, I'm definitely going to keep using the app. When I first heard about the app and started using it, I was like, wow, this is game changing. Because what I used to do is I used to drive around, roll down my window, write it down, come back to the house, and trying to get on and actually go to the county assessor's website, and look up every name one by one. And that's how I was always taught. Man, it makes that process maybe 100 times faster.
It does. It does.
And then another thing is, you know, if you're doing it manually like that, not only does that take time to manually go and find every owner, but also we know in mail, you know, you have to mail people, you know, sometimes 3 to 6, 7 times before you can get a response. Well, if you're doing it manually, you have to keep up with that. How many times have we mailed them, you know? All right, we need to mail them again. Okay, it's, you know, it's, let's say you're doing it 2 or 3 weeks or a month apart. You have to keep, you know, it makes everything just more easier. Just,
we had a customer leave us a review that said it takes his lack of follow through off the table. It does. Because I knew exactly what he meant when he said that. It was back to the reason why I made it. You know, I would spend time driving and I'd want to do the lookups, but I would be too tired and then just forget. You know, days would pass. It makes you almost like a machine. It makes the most inconsistent person super consistent. Yeah. You know? So, and it's funny because sometimes some people get, you know, maybe 6 cars and they're like, hey, you keep sending me this. And, you know, that spark a conversation. Something I know recently say, hey, I don't own that home. It was actually, you know, inherited, and there's a few of us. And then, hey man, and they didn't want to sell because they didn't know what to do with it. They thought there was a problem. As an investor, it's like, okay, it's not a problem. We can work this out. Start digging, you know. Man, I love that. You never know what you're going to uncover just by starting a conversation. Right. Cool. Well, thanks. Congratulations on your 3rd deal. And I'll leave it to just say I'm pumped to see you speak at We Live 19. So you coming to We Live 19, man? We're definitely coming to We Live. Oh man, it's gonna be awesome, man. I hope more users come to We Live 19, DealMachine users. But We Live 19 is gonna be amazing. I think last time I spoke on creative deals, you know, like subject to owner finance, and I'm gonna be diving deeper, you know, this year. So in the meantime, you know, people can follow me on Instagram. I give a lot of stuff, you know, kind of free content. House Buying Brian. I think yesterday me and Tony Robinson, T-Rob, we actually had an IG live yesterday. We had about 440 people on there. Okay. And also on YouTube, I give a lot of, you know, free content that people are closing deals from. And that's great. My first and last name on YouTube. Got about almost, you know, trying to hit the 20,000 subscriber mark on YouTube. I'll put a link to both of those in this YouTube video description. So you guys listening, just open up the description and you can link right to these two things Brian's talking about.
Thank you, David.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh, man.
Thanks a lot for sharing the details of this. I think it's going to help a lot of people, especially if they haven't done one yet, to hear some of the processes that you use.
I can't wait to We Live 19 to hear Dedrick, him and his wife's story. That's crazy.
I know. Yeah, so I mean, they did we did a case study with them a few months ago when they had done over $500,000 in terms of wholesaling fees and equities for rentals bought, which is an insane number in 6 months using DealMachine.
That's crazy. And I can believe it, man. Because if you use this and you're consistent with it, it's crazy, you know?
Right, yeah. They've got a great story, and I can't wait to hear them on stage. It's going to be fun too.
Me too, because whatever I want to see how they're using it and maximizing it, because I'm going to bring that back here.
They've pushed
I'll
it.
see you,
Absolutely.
No doubt. I appreciate it, man.
All right. Thanks, Brian. Looking forward to it.